Guys, you got me. Alright? You guys got me, man. I surrender. You win. I'm sorry for everything I said. I'm stupid. I said that was gonna happen. I said this was gonna happen, but it just didn't happen. And I just want to say
from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
I see you guys bombarding my comments on the previous videos trying to talk shit because you can't wait for this video because you want to tell Superior I told you so. Talk your shit. I get it. I get it. Talk all that shit. But just remember.
Sorry, bro. I'm the type of nigga stand on business, nigga. One man arm against 50, nigga. Let's do that. I stand on business, nigga.
Listen, before this video turns into an all-out war and Superior gets put on trial, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I love and appreciate all you guys. Alright, it's time to plead my case against all you rabid animals. Iguruma, activate domain expansion, and let's put me the fuck on trial. So the chapter starts with the NPC Marines glazing Saturn for being higher than the Celestial Dragons. They end up running away this chapter obviously because they don't want to die, because if you're not a rear admiral or a vice admiral, Saturn will blow up your head, so you gotta get away from him. And we see the Marines this chapter also freaking out about Bonnie stabbing Saturn. Oh my god, he stabbed one of the Gorosei, oh my god. But then Saturn says what I told you guys last chapter, because since the One Piece community is so quick to call someone a fraud and so quick to react to things, Saturn had to spell it out this chapter, and he said to the Marines that if he wanted to, he would have dodged Bonnie's attack, so stop talking and stop yapping. I literally found that so funny. So last chapter, Saturn showing us he had these hacks where just by one glance he can blow up your head. So in this chapter, we seen Saturn use that same demonic ability to damage Bonnie's mind. But obviously her head doesn't explode like it would have with that last guy we seen in the last chapter. He then grabs Bonnie, and while doing so, Sanji obviously tries to dash at Saturn to protect her. He ends up getting hit by that same attack where Saturn glances at you. And obviously his head didn't get blown up, but he ended up falling back and it did do some decent damage to him where he spat out blood. And Sanji ends up collapsing. There's going to be people who don't watch my videos and they're going to assume a lot of stuff, and they just look at the thumbnails, the titles, and assume I'm a hardcore Sanji tard with no logic, so they're going to say a whole lot of nonsense in the comments. So the biggest question surrounding Sanji's interaction with Saturn is that, is he going to be used as a hype tool? Well, to be honest, yes and no. Most likely yes. So yeah, just stop right now. Listen, I do admit though, I do take an L here, because I assumed the second Sanji saw Bonnie get hurt, he would have raged like Goku did against Beerus and pretty much went Super Saiyan God or some shit, but that didn't happen. Seems he only really rages for Nami. That's what it's looking like. Was Sanji used as a hype tool? Yes, he was. Did I say Sanji was gonna go ballistic against Saturn who hurts Bonnie? Yes, I did. And I was wrong. I'm not gonna cope. Does this mean he's finished though and can't do anything impressive for the rest of the arc? Fuck no. Saturn currently has them pinned down in some force field with his power, and it was stated it wasn't science, but we already knew that. They are currently immobilized. But obviously something will happen where they do get free later on. They're not going to be there forever. Saturn got the best of Sanji and all of them because his power is literally hacks. I don't know how you can defend against this. I don't know what you can do. But the people trying to say he's trash for this, alright, that's fine. I just hope in this scene right here, in Wano, you call these two guys, Zoro and Luffy, trash as well, because they got hit by hacks and they couldn't avoid it. See how Sanji got eye diffed? They got sound diffed. See what I did there? But with Sanji's case, it was literally from a top tier in the series. And that's a poo. All I'm saying is that I hope you kept that same energy in Wano with Zoro and Luffy. Just saying. Once again, is Sanji finished? Fuck no. Will he fight Saturn again? Maybe. Probably not. But in this chapter, Saturn raises Bonnie into the air and tells the Marines to point their guns at her head. I'm not gonna say Sanji is gonna have a rage moment, turn on Germa mode and do all this shit, but it's possible. I do see some other Straw Hats stopping the Marines, by the way, because I do see them getting matchups against them, so it's possible they can save Bonnie. But my Sanji bros, don't be sad. This is a minor setback. There's a good moment waiting for him this arc. You just gotta be patient. Trust me guys, trust me and have faith in Sanji. Next part of the chapter, we cut to Luffy and Kizaru. Saturn tries to capture Luffy and he talks to Kizaru. The translations here aren't the best, but Saturn says even for you, this took a while. But I understand why. Then we see Kizaru laying on the floor holding his head while Luffy is passed out from Gear 5. Kizaru says he has no excuses, but he doesn't think he can move for a bit. Once again, very rough translations. Future translations can change the entirety of the scene, but I will say, and I will be honest, I will own up, I said Kizaru was going to get back up immediately the next time we seen him, and obviously he didn't. I also said Kizaru wouldn't be out of commission from this attack, which he isn't technically, but he still got put out of commission for a bit. So fuck, I'll take another L. White Star Gun bodied the fuck out of Kizaru. But once again, there's going to be people who paint the narrative that I thought Kizaru was going to be Luffy, which is false. Alright, I don't expect Kizaru to actually be defeated, but I don't expect him to win. Yeah, no, I had an agenda, I wanted it to come to life, but honestly, this isn't over for Kizaru or Luffy. I expect Kizaru to get up in a bit and fight. I don't know who, but someone needs to stall him while Luffy fights Saturn. I'll explain why in the next part, why I believe he's gonna fight Saturn, but Kizaru might get stalled. Listen to this, by Zoro and Sanji. Zoro's gonna know the Fluchi soon, trust me. I'll go more in depth later this week and recap this entire Kizaru and Luffy altercation, but I'll say here, this fight did not prove Yonkos are stronger than Admirals. Even though I have Luffy stronger than Kizaru, this fight did not prove that, and especially did not prove Yonkos are stronger than Admirals. No. So we cut to a sad ass flashback with Kuma. This chapter, man, fuck, this shit made me so sad. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did laugh at the same time, cause just look at this guy. Seriously though, this was one of the saddest backstories I ever seen in One Piece for the time being, because I know it's not even finished, but just the beginning of this was just so sad. And I didn't really care about Kuma's backstory that much, but this definitely made me invested. But it starts with Kuma telling Bonnie that ever since he was a kid, he wanted to be like the warrior of liberation, the sun god Nika, as he was teaching Nika's dance moves to baby Bonnie. He told him that he would save people with a smile on his face and dance around. Bonnie then asked, "Will he set me free too?" And Kuma responds with, "Of course." I honestly wholeheartedly believe we're gonna see Luffy versus Saturn just because of this panel. Like, this is the ultimate setup for that. Nika had an impact on Kuma's life. It's only fitting he saves his daughter. And it makes it more likely now that since we seen Frankie save Luffy and bring him towards them this chapter. And he's right in front of Saturn, or he should be. We didn't actually see it, but he should be. But there's more to that, you'll see. The next part of the flashback, we see Kuma's parents, and his dad is in the hospital as Kuma is being born. We find out that his dad is from the Buccaneer tribe. And obviously, being Kuma's dad, he passed those genes down to Kuma too. The world government, aka the Celestial Dragons, swoop in so that they could take Kuma and his dad and use them as slaves, because obviously their tribe gives them the build to be good slaves, which is fucked up. In the process, it seems they killed Kuma's mother since she wouldn't be useful to them. I'm assuming. We didn't actually see what happened. We cut to Kuma and his dad as slaves, and this is honestly so fucked up, man. The way he's trying to find happiness and having a supposedly good master, which in reality he probably didn't even treat him right. He just probably patted him on the head one time and he got happy off that. But we see them conversing as slaves, and Kuma burst out in tears to hear his mom died. His father tells him to stay strong. Sorry. This is funny, you guys can't lie. His father tells him to stay strong, the sun god Nika will save him. He goes into it and explains who the sun god Nika is. The same thing Kuma told Bonnie is what his father used to tell Kuma. Obviously, with the sun god Nika being present in Bonnie's life, this is obviously the ultimate setup for Luffy, the sun god Nika, to save Bonnie. We cut to 38 years ago, in God Valley. We find out that every 3 years, the Celestial Dragons host a tournament, and this year they're hosting it at God Valley. The tournament will consist of different tribes, and the ones to lose will have their tribes eradicated. The king of the island is pissed off about this because obviously it's his island. But he gets his head chopped off by none other than a young Saint Figurlin Garling, aka Shanks' papa. He looks really young here. I don't know if he was getting any at this age, but he's really old now, so it's likely he's still Shanks' father, and he's somewhat of an adult in this photo. And we can assume he won the tournament too, since his introduction says he was the champion of God Valley. Well, since we know he's a champion and he has ties with the world government, and he knew Saturn for pretty much a long time, makes sense why Shanks has ties with the world government as well. Could also explain why Whitebeard's scars ache when he sees Shanks, cause he sees Figurlin Garland maybe, because Whitebeard was on the island the same year Figurlin won the championship, the NBA championship. I'm not too sure on this one since Whitebeard doesn't have any noticeable scars back in these Roger flashbacks or in the Odin flashback. It makes you really think, was Roxy Zebek an evil guy? Or is Roger and Garp the actual evil guys here? They were fighting with the nobles alongside Figurlin to stop Rox. But Rox What if he wanted to free the slaves? He was trying to cause havoc and take these guys down. And these, Rocks could be the good guy here. That's another video. Moving on, lastly, we see Kuma try to flee and escape for his life, but gets captured by the world government. Two people come to his aid, and lo and behold, it's Kid Ivankov and some other person named Ginny. They are both slaves at the time. She calls Ivankov her big bro. Don't know if that means they're biologically related or she just calls him her bro, like how I would call some of you guys my bro. If they are related, that means Kuma was getting a piece of Ivankov's sister, since Jenny is eating the first time we see her, and who else do we know who's constantly eating? Yup, without a doubt, this is Bonnie's mom. 100%. Kuma was all up in that. Well, obviously not at this age, because that would be kind of weird. Whew. That's it for the chapter, a very, very packed one. The next chapter is going to pick up here on 100%, but sadly, we're on break. You got to hear a lot of shit talking for 2 weeks straight. Pray for me, guys. They're gonna come at me, but like I said, I stand on business. Talk higher shit. Leave a like. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.